Hey guys, how's it going? Kripparrian here. Today I want to give you guys a nice little Reno game. Reno is often played in the YOLO Tavern tier strategy, where you try to get high Tavern tier, maybe get a triple on 5 as early as like turn 7, and slap that hero power on the first card that might be able to carry you through the game. The other way to play Reno is to play a little bit more carefully to a point where you're actually winning the early game, and you can just afford to not settle on a build until a little bit later when you naturally have access to the higher Tavern tier cards while playing a fairly regular Tavern tier strategy. Not crazy, donkey roll aggressive mode. And that works pretty well, actually. I don't typically go for this option, but my hand was forced a little bit on this one, so you get to see what happens when I did. I was gonna do the thing where I play Control Warrior and make everyone on ladder cry, but I looked at the Warrior cards in the next expansion and they were so fucking terrible. And yesterday Trump made a card review on Warrior and he rated every Warrior card 1 star except the weapon, which is 2 stars. So I think my initial opinion may not have been entirely incorrect. Yes.
7 opponents stand between you and the prize you seek.
That's kind of cool, actually.
I will protect these minions
Totem Shaman.
next time.
But I want to play a defensive deck where I have too much health and my opponent slowly cries their aggro deck to sleep and quits the game. That's the experience I want to deliver on my opponent. And in the theory crafting session that I did, my opponents who played Priest were playing a deck that I don't think a warrior can armor up over. There's no amount of armor that results in a warrior beating that. And so I don't really know what the fuck to do. Play a 40 HP druid deck with 20 mana. Does that work? It's a super easy OTK deck. Okay. Maybe that's what I'll play then. I mean, druids have armor. It's ethically acceptable.
Let us bring this to an end. You are mighty as the black dragonflight.
Need a drink?
Yeah, Hearthstone's a game where the best way to have fun is to steal the fun away from your opponent. The least fun your opponent has playing Hearthstone, the more fun you have playing Hearthstone. That's just part of the game mechanics. It's a design. It's not toxic behavior. It's supposed to be that way.
I trust your discretion out there.
Yeah, dude. Zero-sum fun. Conservation of fun.
That was a reckoning.
Okay. Second law of fun dynamics. Exactly. Actually, in high school, I was like pretty chill and stuff. And in high school, a lot of people are like fucking hyper and like everything is fucking awesome. Like they're 4 years old and shit. And I got asked one day why it looks like I'm not having as much fun in high school in physics class. And I told them I have a theory of conservation of happiness. So the least happy I am in school, the more happiness I will have after school. That's just how it works. And I got laughed at, but I don't know. Maybe I was onto something.
Burn away the competition.
You see that I'm still conserving happiness for retirement? There you go. As a Diablo player, I was very far away from popularity. No, I was pretty good. I've always been fairly well accepted in social circles.
Ready to tamper with the affairs of mortals?
I do like that. I would have to sell 2 for it. I think I will do that. Well, I wasn't the school bully, but I told people that I never really got bullied. So people say that I was a school bully. But I didn't really bully anyone. I was pretty nice to people. Yeah, I was just like generally on the large side. So no one really messed with me. And honestly, most people in the Canadian schools I went to were just overall pretty decent people. Like there's only like a few people that exhibited bullying behavior throughout the different schools I went to.
That was a reckoning.
I made sure they were decent people. Exactly. Freeze? What did I freeze for? That shit sucks. Well, my parents often like moved into areas where they had quote unquote good schools. And a lot of these good schools, just a bunch of fucking nerds. So, being someone who liked math and magic cards and Pokemon, yeah, I fit in pretty nice.
I trust your discretion out there.
So, yeah, let's go. Yeah, the only disagreement I had was with this one fucking kid, and like he would never play any other decks. He would play mono blue. The entire deck was fucking counter spells. He never put a single win condition in his deck. Like what an asshole, dude. Like, you have to at least make a deck with a win condition. Like, holy shit. Yeah, his he'd put like the... What was the 5-cost 4/4 flyer? Is that the air elemental? Yeah. He'd have like fucking one of those in his deck. And if he had like 6 counter spells in his hand, he'd finally play it. Such fucking nerds. I was lucky I got a school that had nerds. Imagine being someone who likes games in a classroom full of outgoing people. Well, I liked sports too. I just kind of liked, you know, strategy, competition type of stuff. I mean, it kind of shows in day to day, I suppose, still. Like, I don't know. I like playing soccer. I like playing dodgeball, baseball. I don't know. I didn't like the exercise component of, like, gym. That shit sucked. Like, for a week, we'd just, like, go to the actual gym to lift heavy things. And it's like, what the fuck is this? This is the worst thing ever. Just wouldn't even go for most of those.
Let us bring this to an end. You're here. Let's talk.
Alright. Well, I don't want to hero power any of that. Fine. In your high school yearbook, did your classmates vote me as the most likely to become a bald, whiny vegan? In fact, that was not said, actually. The high school that I graduated from had a pretty small class. And the girl who put together most of the yearbook, because they had like yearbook club or whatever, she liked a photo that she took of me and she put it on the fucking cover. I'm literally on the cover of my yearbook. Yeah. It's like super, super Chad. No, I don't think she liked me more than like a friend type of thing. Actually, I'm quite sure she was gay, but I mean, you know, whatever. I was always respectful of boundaries and stuff. Or her parents were like really strict and didn't let her date or any of that. Like, I mean, I didn't really care to ask that much. It is that one, Frostshock. The majestic Kripp in New York. I don't have the yearbook. It's buried in some box at my dad's house. That photo has circulated in the past. I can probably dig that photo up.
Choose your fighter. You can get a triple if you act now.
By fate or fortune.
That one is dismissed.
Wrath is yours.
Yeah, that's the one refurbished. There. This is me in high school. We went to Manhattan on a school trip. I had long hair and wore a trench coat all the time. But I was pretty social with everyone. And yes, I did listen to death metal all the time. Yeah. I look like Bono from U2. U2 is pretty good. I'll take it.
I trust your discretion out there.
Did he fucking snipe my Terragosa? Bands I listen to? I mean, I'm still listening to some similar bands. My music taste hasn't really changed much since the end of high school. I think I'll pass on the double Nadina situation. I mean, that's pretty good.
For justice. A calculated choice. Choose your fighter. That one is dismissed.
The fate of the world hangs in the balance. The fate of the world hangs in the balance.
Okay. So I started listening to music regularly, like pretty early in high school times. Before that, I wasn't like too crazy into music. Like, you know, I'd have a few songs I'd like, and you know, listen to like the radio or something, like watch like MTV or whatever. But I wasn't really exposed to like what I would consider really good music, except for like the very rare song on like MTV. But then I don't know if someone gave it to me or I just went out and bought like a record, but I got
I hope we're always on the same side.
I got Led Zeppelin, The Song Remains the Same, best of disc. And I just want to say, like, there was nothing that I had heard at that time that came close to that music. For like a year, I just had like the Discman, the Sony Discman, and I just listened to that CD for like a year. Yeah.
Until we meet again.
Sniped again. That's alright, we're gonna move it here. I think I will take that.
Small, but it may prove pivotal.
Yeah, I do kind of want that. You need to explain what MTV was back in the day. So MTV, in like high school era for me, so that would be like 22 years ago. Like 2/3 of the time, they would play either the top song countdown, which would be like the top 30 or 40 songs, or they would do like the grunge hour or something like that, where they would play like the top 10 grunge songs or something like that.
Let us bring
And
this
then
to an
about
end.
1/3 of the time, they would have a mix of like shows or like the occasional movie, or they would have something where I guess they had some kind of MTV studio, and it's like with the guest, some guy you never heard of, and then they show that the line is around the block to see this person I never heard of. And then sometimes that person was Blink-182, and I cared about what they said, but they never really said anything too interesting. And I stopped watching MTV when they started airing a show. Give me a sec. I don't think I need more divine shields. Let's see if I can get... Wow, that sucks. Okay. Fuck.
Hire one of these fine recruits. That one is dismissed.
Practice makes perfect.
She sells seashells. She sells seashells.
There was a show that aired that I thought was the worst show ever, and then they kept airing it more and more, and then I realized I just couldn't stand the shit, and I stopped watching the channel completely. I don't know what the show was called, but it was a show where they ridiculed music videos, but the people who they had to ridicule music video were like literal brainless slobs, and I never heard of any of them. It was like you pick off like some random off the street and they make fun of like a Britney Spears video. And it was just the worst thing ever. Like, why do I care why any of those people don't like actually successful music videos? Like, and their commentary was like 95% completely baseless. They were like,
Competition.
yeah, so anyway, that show was so fucking bad. It was one of the worst shows I've ever seen in my entire life anywhere. And, that's nice. And they started airing it like all the time. And I just didn't give a shit anymore. I just stopped watching that.
You are mighty as the black dragonflight. I approve of this pick.
Man, I should be able to beat that, as is my last good MTV memory. I don't know. I mean, some of the music videos were quite good. Like, There were some music videos that really worked with the music. Like Strokes Someday was really nice. The Jet song, the You Wanna Be My Girl, I think it's called. The Outkast Hey Ya was big at the time. Like if you listen to Outkast Hey Ya, it's like an okay song. But if you watch like the music video for it, it really draws you in a lot more, I think. So I don't know. I quite like that, but I didn't particularly like most of the music.
Burn away the competition.
Oh, that was a bit of a miss on that one. Okay. Oh, there was another thing I really liked on MTV. I forgot. It was actually one of my favorite things. Hey, finally.
Oh, this will be good.
Fish are friends, not
She sells seashells. She sells seashells.
The guy's like no health, so I think we're gonna go in on this one. Actually, I think for 1 gold I will gamble here. That's trash.
Soldiers for gold? How barbaric.
Ha! You want a tussle? This is my realm!
Delicious spider ichor.
Who are you calling short?
There was a segment, it would usually be a really late night, but they would play songs from other countries. I remember because someone said they play shitty rap on MTV now. I didn't really like the rap they had on MTV at that time either. It was always like 50 Cent talking about his like new girls in Ferrari or some shit. It just wasn't interesting. But they had this like late night segment where they would have like French rap or something, and it was surprisingly cool. I think there was more than it was like French and like European and stuff like that. Oh, we have a new emote. Look at that Kripp meme. Hey, that's pretty good. It's a little exaggerated on the hair, but I'll take it, dude. Let's go.
You have amassed a great force.
I have witnessed the true end time.
I'll clean you up.
Small, but it may prove pivotal.
Spider ichor. Delicious spider ichor.
Practice.
Oh, that kind of sucks, actually. Let's do that.
Burn away the competition.
Oh, you might just have to reload, Matt. Or, let's see. It's a 7 TV emote. You have to have the 7 TV add-on as well. So It's looking pretty good. Winner! Not bad.